It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Good morning. Welcome to the Travel and Cruise Industry News Podcast for the 17th day of August, 2023. Coming to you from Bedford County, Virginia, the Central Virginia area. Got a pretty busy show today, actually. It's been so slow all week. Quite a few news stories today, quite a couple of announcements to make, a whole bunch of stuff. So sit back and enjoy the next few minutes. First of all, tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock, my time, 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, I'm going to do a special live show on the upcoming Norwegian Epic hosted cruise for January of 2024, January 28th. We're going to invite everybody from the solo group to join us if they're interested, whether they're interested or not, join us anyway. So we can, go over and talk about what we do on solo cruises and go through all the specifics of the Epic. I'm looking forward to the Epic. It's the first of like 3 cruises that I have booked on the Epic. But anyway, it sails on January 28th from Port Canaveral. So some of you from around the country that have been flying in and sailing out of Miami might want you going to Orlando and might want to do some Disney stuff before you come over to Port Canaveral, either before or after cruise. And it's a typical 7-day Eastern Caribbean cruise. It goes to Great Stirrup Cay, that's the private island in the Bahamas. It goes to San Juan, Puerto Rico. I just did a blog post on the accessibility of San Juan. It goes to St. Thomas, and it also goes to Amber Cove. Amber Cove, one of my favorite stops in the Caribbean. But it's very reasonably priced for solos. The inside cabin's $1,143. That's with 2 perks. The balcony is $2,001. That's with 4 perks. And those include taxes and port charges. So let's say, for instance, if you're the inside and you take rather than taking the dining and the bar, which have the taxes and stuff that's added on in that figure, the 1143, you take the shore excursions and the Wi-Fi, you don't have the extra taxes added on. You can actually get it a little cheaper than 1143. But most of us take the drinks package and the specialty dining, which is what I'll do as well. Although the shore excursions, that's worked out well for me in the past. So not sure which way I'll go on that. And maybe I'll have a balcony this time. Not sure on that one either. I'll have to check. It'd be nice to have all 4. And then, of course, if you're in a balcony, you get all 4 of them. You get the drinks package, you get the specialty dining, and that's 2 meals. You get $50 shore excursion credit. That's per shore excursion. If you can book 2 shore excursions for a given port, then you'll get $100 credit. So that's been very, very favorable. And of course, if you're interested, just call Viva Voyages, which is the Passion for Cruises USA partner. And they are the booking agent and take care of the booking in the US. So anyway, going to do a special show tomorrow night at 6 o'clock over all the channels. You're welcome to jump in if you want. I'm going to do the show and then take off because I am heading to eventually to get here. That's the cruise port in Whittier, Alaska. And as a matter of fact, the train rolls right up to the port. You get off the train, go right across the street, and then that little white tunnel, and go in the building and get on a boat. So that's going to be pretty cool. Of course, I'll be going in there first on the Nordam and riding the train, or I don't know if I'm doing a transfer or the train back down to Anchorage. I'm in Anchorage for 3 days and then come back up there to get on this ship, which of course is the Sapphire Princess. So I'll be in and out of that building several times in the next couple of weeks. So anyway, we got all kinds of stuff coming, folks, that I'll be doing in Alaska, and we'll be sharing stuff with you and doing videos on all sorts of things as we go along. All right, the headlines in today's show. We got to talk about Hurricane Hillary. If it's not a hurricane right now, it will be in the next few minutes. And a weather update on all those other storms. The main story today, Norwegian's going to return to Baltimore. First time in years. Maui relief from some of the cruise companies. Jubilee's bolt is coming along. American Eagle sails its inaugural Cunard enables shore power fleet-wide. Victoria welcomes the 10 millionth guest. Scarlet Lady changes a port call. That and lots more live here at 11 o'clock this morning, folks. Today is National Black Cat Appreciation Day. Now, in my lifetime, I really became a cat person later in life. But once I started with cats, I've never had a black cat. Let's see, that's Brat the cat is the one back there behind me. Brat the cat is closest I've had to a black cat, and it was pretty much black and white. But I've never had an all black cat. Now, Amanda has had a couple. Her brother has had a couple. My sister has had one or two over the years. I just never had a black cat before. Now, I had a couple kittens that were black. So, how am I doing this? Brat the cat's mother, who was Squirt, who was gray and white, had a couple solid blacks. Needless to say, she fooled around with anybody. So, but anyway, I haven't had a black cat. But anyway, if you've got a black cat, give her an extra treat today. Treat her nice. Black cats get such a bad rap about, the whole Halloween crap with cats. Cats have nothing to do with that. I love my cats. All right, if you're listening via the podcast, you can always access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net. Podcast is normally posted 10 to 15 minutes right after the end of the show. It takes me a few minutes to get it processed and up, but then it's usually available. I try to put at least some advertising out through my Facebook networks that it's posted, so you can always access it there. Or wherever you get your podcasts from, all the big hitters, TuneIn, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Pandora, any of them. Just search for travel and cruise industry news, and up pops the Fat Travel Guy. Anytime you're listening to the podcast, I want to jump over to the video feed. There's always a link in the description of the podcast, so you can do just that. All right, I had Christy was on here a couple of days ago. It's always great to have Christy on. I love Christy to death. This is Christy on an airplane with her wheelchair in the plane. That usually doesn't happen, but glad to see it happening. She says if the airline knows you're coming, you can request it if you're in a manual chair. They won't do that with power chairs yet. But that's okay. We're making strides. All right. Before we get to the news this morning, we need to take a look at the weather. This, of course, is in the Atlantic. And I just realized that it ate my map Hawaii. So let me put that up again. All right, this is the Atlantic. We've got a little further information on the two systems over there in the central Atlantic. Disorganized showers and thunderstorms continue in association with an elongated trough of low pressure centered about 875 miles west-southwest of the Cabo Verde Islands. Environmental conditions appear conducive for gradual development of this system. It's very possible that a tropical depression will form in the next several days as it moves west-northwestward at 10 to 15 miles an hour. They're saying now over the next 48 hours, it has a 40% chance. Over the next 70 days, a 60% chance. Then in the eastern Atlantic, a broad area of low pressure partially associated with the tropical wave is producing a large area of disorganized showers and thunderstorms. To the southwest of the Cabo Verde Islands, further development is low. On this low is possible while it is moving toward the west-northwest or northwest around 10 miles an hour. They're also calling it for 48 hours, 30% chance, but then over the next 7 days, a 60% chance. So keep in mind, folks, in the Atlantic Basin, we're in the heart of the season now. And get used to it. This is going to be happening now till October. So once the currents start kicking them off of Africa, we're going to see them for a while. All right. If you go all the way out in the Pacific, south of Hawaii, you've still got Greg turning around, and you've got Fernandez still around, but not as bad as they were. And then we get on back closer to home. We now have Hillary, and that's the one we really have to watch. But here's the details on all of them. Tropical storm Greg continues to move west. It's about 675 miles south-southeast of Honolulu, 525 miles south of Kona. Maximum sustained winds are 45, presently moving west at 13. The central pressure is 1,004 and steady. Greg is expected to become post-tropical remnant low by late tomorrow. All right. Hillary is forecast to rapidly intensify and become a hurricane anytime. Tropical storm watch is issued for the southern portion of Baja California. It's around 330 miles south-southwest of Manzanilla, 620 miles south-southeast of Cabo San Lucas. Maximum sustained wind 70 miles an hour. It's moving west-northwest at 13. Pressure has dropped to 988 already. Look out, folks. This one's coming. A rapid strengthening is forecast. Hillary will become a hurricane very shortly. It could become a major hurricane by tonight. Tropical storm force winds extend out to 275 miles. So this is a big storm as well. The other storm, while it is downgraded to a tropical system, will probably be gone by the end of the day. So it's going to all boil down to Hillary. Hillary is going to affect land in Mexico on up the coast and Baja California, at least being very close offshore with the winds and the surf and the rain. That, of course, is also going to affect cruise industry. So if you have any Mexican Riviera cruises booked from San Diego or Los Angeles, or cruises that are going through the Panama Canal and going up, please be advised that there could be changes because of the weather. Hillary looks to be, I've been talking about it 3 or 4 days now. Now it's starting to see some teeth. This looks like it could be a pretty major storm. All right, we'll be back with all the news stories after a quick break from one of our network sponsors. All right. The top story this morning has to deal with Norwegian. That would be a picture of Cindy and me having breakfast on the Norwegian Sky last summer. I don't know what we did out there, Tom. Maybe we threw him off the boat. I don't remember, quite frankly. But starting November 1st, Norwegian will start round-trip sailings from Baltimore for the fall and winter season. This marks the first time in years that the cruise line will sail from the Mid-Atlantic port. Norwegian Sky will offer 10 and 11-day itineraries to New England and Canada in September. Kicking off the season on September 1st is a 10-night Canada and New England voyage. The 1999 built ship underwent a massive renovation in 2019 following the cruise industry shutdown. The Norwegian Sun, which is the sister ship, will offer 5 and 12-day voyages to the Dominican Republic and Bermuda for those who prefer sailing in November and December. I've been on both the Sun and the Sky. They are virtually identical. The Sun was originally scheduled to sail the Far East voyages after a summer in Alaska. However, due to uncertainty in Asia, the company redeployed the ship closer to home. Port stops in Canada and the United States will include the popular Halifax and Bar Harbor. Still, they will also feature more unusual ports as Shelbourne and Bay Cournot in Canada and Martha's Vineyard in Massachusetts. How about that one, Katie? Anyway, that's happening in Baltimore. So, all right. This, of course, is that was the port in Lahaina before, and that's the port in Lahaina now. Sad but true. The death toll from the Maui wildfire has now reached 111. And the number of missing is probably still over 1,000, according to Hawaii Governor Josh Green. In light of the devastation in Hawaii last week, 2 of the cruise lines have stepped up to help the Maui wildfire victims. Holland America partnered with other Carnival Corporation brands to pledge $50,000 to Maui relief, while Norwegian Cruise Line also donated $50,000 to local efforts. Earlier in the week, the Port of Lahaina announced an indefinite suspension of cruise operation due to the Maui wildfire that destroyed the facility. Norwegian Cruise Line's Pride of America, which docks at Kalaui Harbor, not in Lahaina, has changed its itinerary not to burden local resources and to deliver surplus supplies. So, a little help coming from the cruise industry. That's always excellent. All right, the Carnival's newest Bolt Ultimate Sea coaster has taken shape atop the Carnival Jubilee. It's over there, still undergoing construction, of course, at Meyerwerft in Germany. The vessel is currently being constructed. The 800-foot track for the roller coaster is being installed on deck 19. The process of installation is projected to conclude next month, with test runs scheduled for the month of October. Once finalized, the track will support 2 electric-powered 2-passenger cars. Riders will have the ability to control the car's speed, reaching a maximum of 40 miles an hour as they navigate drops, twists, and turns at a remarkable height, 187 feet above the water surface. Bolt stands as a focal point of the exhilarating ultimate playground located on Carnival's trio of XL-class ships, popularity has been firmly established on the first two, with over 150,000 passengers enjoying the thrill of the roller coaster on board the Mardi Gras and the celebration. You know, if I could get close to it, I might do it, but they don't get handicapped folks up there. Unless it's going to be different on this one, would be nice. I'd probably try it. I'd be scared, whatless, but I'd try it. All right, American Eagle, talked about her a couple times, finally had its inaugural sailing yesterday, as a matter of fact, from Boston, Massachusetts. The vessel marks the beginning of a series of 12 ships from American Cruise Line that they've commissioned for conducting coastal voyages centered around the United States. Constructed by Chesapeake Shipbuilding in Salisbury, Maryland, the American Eagle is a 4-deck ship. It's got an elevator, it's got a handicapped cabin, and I think they need to have the ambassador for Scoot Around and Will Power Chairs come on their ships to let the handicapped community know that you can sail on their ships. Don't you think that's a good idea? Yeah, I do. Just pick up the phone and call me. American, I'll be happy to put you in my schedule. American Eagle embarked on her first journey, a 7-day Cape Cod cruise, featuring stops at Martha's Vineyard. Talking about you again, Katie. Newport in Rhode Island and New Bedford in Massachusetts. The official christening ceremony is scheduled to take place at the Massachusetts Maritime Academy on August the 16th. All right. I'm kidding somewhat, but I would love to do those ships, to get on them for that very purpose. They have handicapped cabins. They have a handicapped cabin. But okay, so let's get on there so all of our handicapped folks know about it. Let's do some videos. Let's advertise it. You get a lot of mileage out of me. We'll make sure that handicapped cabin's filled on every one of your sailings, on all your ships. Okay, that's all right. Cunard has achieved a groundbreaking milestone by equipping its entire fleet with the capability to utilize shore power. Queen Elizabeth has been outfitted with the necessary equipment for shore power connection, resulting in all 3 Cunard vessels, Queen Mary II, Queen Victoria, and Queen Elizabeth, having the capacity to link up to shore power whenever it's available. The upcoming addition to the fleet, the Queen Anne, scheduled to make her debut in May of 24, will have the advanced technology integrated before her inaugural voyage. Congratulations, Cunard. I'm hoping that everybody gets to that point. And this was kind of a feel-good story. Yesterday, Victoria, the Greater Victoria Harbor Authority, reported welcoming the 10 millionth cruise passenger in the Breakwater District at Ogden Point on Wednesday. That was yesterday. According to a press release, the passengers arrived on the Queen Elizabeth, which has shore power. Congratulations to Victoria and to the folks that were the 10 millionth passenger. And finally, today, this from Virgin Voyages. Scarlet Lady will be sailing to an alternate port due to engine maintenance, giving guests a very unique opportunity for the cruise line. Guests booked aboard the next sailing of Virgin Voyages Scarlet Lady, departing Friday, August 18th from Miami, have been notified of an itinerary change with a port of call alteration. Virgin Voyages was originally scheduled on the Dominican Days voyage to call on Puerto Plata in Dominican Republic and Bimini in the Bahamas. According to the email from the company, the port of Puerto Plata is being replaced by Grand Turk and the beautiful island of Turks and Caicos. Actually, that looks like an upgrade to me. Anyway, Scarlet Lady has changed ports of call on the upcoming cruise, and no real reasons given for the change. All right, once again, I fuss at the companies for not being transparent when they make these announcements. Tell us why. We're not going to think any worse of you if it's something stupid, but don't leave us hanging. You know, we're big boys and girls. We can take the change. Tell us if it's still having some engine problems. Tell us. All right. That's it for the news portion today. Let's go see who's fussing at me in the chat room. Mike's with us. Good morning, Mike. Kenneth's with us from up in Pennsylvania. Morning, everybody. We're also getting ready to fly out to Los Angeles for our Panama Canal cruise. Man, I hope you missed that damn storm out there, Kenneth. Holy cow, it's coming right up the West Coast. I mean, you can go around it, of course. By the time you get to the Panama Canal, I mean, you can go around the storm. It's not going to keep you from getting there. But you might have to deal with some rough water out there. Nikki's with us. Hi, Nikki. Going on Emerald Princess. Yep. I'll look forward to hearing your reports on the Emerald Princess. Of course, I'll be on Sapphire Princess, her sister ship. On the 30th, I get on Sapphire. Steve's with us. Good morning, Steve, out in Kentucky. Cindy's here. By the way, Steve, we got to spend quite a bit of time on the phone with Jason out there in Louisville. We had our big Zoom call with the folks from Scoot Around and the Will Power Chairs. We got a lot of the T's crossed and the I's dotted. Everything set up, and my chair is on its way to ship to me. So we will be getting a C2 Will Power chair. And that's the biggie. That's their good one. So I'll have that for future use. And we're continuing on with, of course, me providing content for these folks on a fairly regular basis. So it was good to get things really set up and going again. But anyway, Jason, of course, is in Louisville, and he's my agent. So I'm not allowed to do anything without him being there so he can sit on me. But actually, it was a fun meeting. I really liked the gal from Scoot Around. That was the first time I met her. Her name's Jessica. And yeah, that was nice. So I'm looking forward. It's going to be a very fruitful relationship for me for the next couple of years. So anyway, Cindy just asked what ship, Kenneth. He said that. My first cat was a black cat. Now, there you go, Cindy. I don't dislike black cats. I like all cats. Kenneth has a black cat. There you go. Very good. It's a black cat day. So you treat the cats nice today. No fussing at them. Let them have their way. Oh, they do that anyway. Look. Let me know how the port in LA is going out there in March on the NCL Bliss. You know, I've been out of LA 4 or 5 times, and I don't have any problems with it. You know, it's kind of like Miami. You know, you have to. It's the things you have to do. It's not any worse or better than anything else. I do like the way that they handle handicap folks, though. They do a pretty good job there. I was very impressed with that. Emily's with us. Hi, Em. Kenna says we flying to LA Sunday, get on the ship Monday, get down to Mexico. Hopefully we can fly into LA. Yeah, well, I don't think you know what? And no, it's not going to get there. I don't think it's going to get to LA. I'm sure it's going to veer away from LA. But anyway, you might have to go out a little further in the Pacific Ocean, skirting around it when you sail Sunday. But that's okay too. Emily says, happy and safe travels to me. Thank you. Looking forward to seeing your latest Alaskan pics and videos. Well, I'll be doing a lot of it because I keep learning and, I keep finding things to do. All of you know, because you get stuck with seeing them, I'm doing all kinds of stuff with the short things, which is helping build the channel, which hopefully eventually brings people to this program, which is still the bread and butter, if I had the kind of traction all the time with the short videos, and it would be building up tremendous views, then it would maybe start paying some. But on the short videos, I make next to nothing, which adds to a month of next to nothings. So, I'm still at, $30, $40 a month. That doesn't take me on many cruises, folks. I mean, even if you add in another $40 or $50 a month from the podcast, $80, $90 a month, that doesn't buy many cruises. So we'll get there one day, though. Kenna says, Cindy, it's one of the easiest ports to get on a ship. We'll let you know how Monday goes. Okay. Steve says, sounds like an exciting venture with Scoot Around. Well, yeah, it is. And it's, I've used Scoot Around scooters for almost 10 years now. I've just started using a chair some. I have a lighter weight chair here at home that I'm actually going to be using on these next 2 cruises, which I like a lot because it's more adaptable to doing excursions. I'm not sure how the heavier, full power chair is going to be. It doesn't fold up. You have to take it apart. I've got to physically see how easily that is to do. It's 4 steps. And, I shouldn't have any problem with it. So if I can get it off the boat, if I can get it to a cab, then I can take it apart in 4 pieces and it'll fit inside the trunk of the cab. And I can go someplace on an excursion. Or conversely, on a bus, I can take it apart and go in the luggage, just like my fold-up does. But we're going to have to see. So I've got a learning curve when I get the new chair. So hopefully I'll have it by the time I go on my Carnival cruise in November. I'm on the Conquest with our buddy Jason from Pittsburgh. Is supposed to be on that ship. So I'm looking forward to that. But it's ports that I've been to, ports that I know. So it'll give me a chance to experiment. Talk about that'll be cool. That'll be a learning curve for the next couple months, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And then if I have to use the fold-up chair, then I have to use the fold-up chair. We'll make that determination then, because it works well. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today. Again, I will set up a show for tomorrow night. at 6 p.m. my time to talk about the new hosted cruise in January on the Norwegian Epic and any other hosted cruises people want to talk about or want to look at, or any of the solo cruises that we talk about on the shows like we did yesterday. Feel free to come on board and chat about that as well. But the primary function of tomorrow night will be the next hosted cruise, hosted by me on the Norwegian Epic, January 28th out of Port Canal. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, think about cruising. Hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas. And all you guys that are traveling this weekend, stay safe and have a great time. Post lots of pictures. I'll steal them and use them no matter where I am. So have a great day, everybody. I'll see everybody back here tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock and then again at 6 o'clock for the Epic Show. Have a great day, everybody. See you tomorrow.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.